Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. That should be all good. Rumble's booting on up. Twitter is booted on up. YouTube's going. And looks like Twitch is going. Looks like everything's going good. Oh, forgot a couple things. I turn on my macros. And of course I need to turn on the live stream chat. And looks like everything's good to go. Yep, give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on top left side as the, what's this called again? Azure Asteroid Drake. We got Tamio, I think. Spawn on bottom right side as the Black Hole Kindle. We got Meven, or Me-Even. There's two E's. How do I pronounce two E's again in this name? Either way, this is a Fog of War map. It is triple base, single airport. We do also have a port here, probably just meant to refuel and rearm the black boat that's already existing. There is a shore there, so it's not meant for naval combat units. If you do somehow build a battleship there and it becomes useful, something either gone very wrong or very right. Either way, let's see, other things to cover. Drake has, of course, +1 movement range for naval units, which I don't think matters on this map. Yeah, it has full movement there as opposed to, I can't click on it because it's not his turn. I'm pretty sure that does not matter. +10% defense probably won't matter. Areas get -30% attack, which is quite significant. And of course, can unaffected by rain. Kindle is the urban terrain specialist, +40% damage while attacking from urban property. Everything listed there is urban property, nothing more, nothing less. It's something I sort of view as a retaliation tool. After all, if you have a tank on top of a city, it gets hit, you pull it back, put another tank there, get a boost strike, and effectively one-shot whatever is remaining of the other tank. By the way, let's go ahead and get started. Of course, just an early capturing game, and I realized I haven't opened my drink. My apologies for this as well. There are also two comm towers on this map as well, both of these securable. Is my microphone working? Yes. I just had a moment of panic, like, oh, is my microphone working? Because at times I don't check my microphone, it's not working. Got lots of infantry there. Ooh, people have an early transport copter by Kindle. There is what appears to be a good number of properties on this map. I haven't really counted the number of properties. She can make use of the lab for her superpower. That's about it, as well as her day-to-day power. And something I usually like to do is open the CO chart on my other computer, so I just have an eye on it. My apologies. Just in case I want to look up things, because I always look at exact values. For example, Kindle's urban property does have +40% in firepower, whereas day-to-day, while it does do 80%, then 130% in power and superpower. You now have two takes on the field by Drake. Kindle has pulled out a recon. Drake's tanks are completely and utterly ordinary, which is perfectly fine. You just don't like to see weaker tanks. Right now, Drake does have 11 properties captured. Kindle has 9, so slight economic advantage. But we've got a big round of capturing there. There's still one more there, so she captured up 6 more properties this turn, plus the comm tower. Got double tank there. I'm not really going in depth of the capture order of the players because I don't really know how to. There's so many maps in this game, and plus I don't play. So I can't give you any advice on what would be a good capturing order on these maps. If you're interested in the capturing order, I recommend you can slow down the game and take a look. No offense. I just don't think I can give you a good summary of it. How then? Oh, he captured that property. He captured that property. We've got double recon and tank there, so good. Kindle's got 3 recons in the field. That is maybe a little bit too much. There's a lot of roads here. You can easily get up base and quickly storm and support the front line. So getting the front line is not a huge issue for them. Only a small number of planes here. It's got a forest here, slows them down, so a little bit harder to get up north. So tanks would be better to send up north. And additionally, with the forest there and not good path up there, so northern and southern route is the weak side, if more or less weaker, not necessarily a weak side. Because Drake does have now 2 tanks here. Kindle has the 1, which was out of vision range. And we're going to see the retaliation effect there. Gets a good strike there. There's not the infantry unit. Because now we're going to see the boosted Kindle strike onto this tank. Though she may not do it with the other tank nearby. She'll need to get the other reinforcing tanks. She'll get a great boost strike, but the counterattack would be quite significant, so she may not do it, but we may see it. Guess we'll find out. And we will see it doing 7 points of damage. Let's take a quick look. Hello, Andy and Andy. Is this a good spot there? Yeah, good enough. Let's see, so she needs basically a max luck or high luck roll in order to get 8 points of damage. But that is quite significant because usually by default, that's about 5 points of damage. And that was 7 points of damage. Quite a significant boost there. She does also have comm tower as well, so that's plus 50% firepower in total. And I think as well, if Drake pulls back this tank and get this other tank to engage from here, she has another tank to get another boosted strike. This is why I consider this urban property a bonus as a retaliation tool. Which does have other purposes as well, but I think it does most work in retaliation. Does get trapped on the infantry unit there. Decides to pull back the tanks. Overall, that was a good call. We got potentially 3 tanks in this region for Kindle, though 1 is still in transit. This infantry unit is out of range. Does get trapped there. Does get a little bit shot there. Decides not to engage the tank. That's probably a good idea. Recon the area. Provide some, reconnaissance. And she has her own infantry unit there on the forest, so she knows that forest is clear. Heading up north, got a recon here versus recon. Does spot the recon. Oh, that must have been a pretty high luck roll there. Get our booster strike there. Battlecopter infantry tank. Battlecopters do get supported by the urbanized terrain as well. Good some damage there. Got more properties being captured. Right now, Drake has 19. Kindle has 20. Slight economic advantage. And will increase. Anti-air deployed in the field. Very nice. Jenny won an anti-air by no later than day 10 deployed in the field. Battlecopter infantry recon. Kindle doesn't have an anti-air, but she does have battlecopter engaged with battlecopter. Good strike there. Finish it off. No booster strike can be obtained. Does get trapped there. Does get a strike there. Taking some shots there. A little bit risky, honestly. So she only sees 1 tank. Got to be careful of an ambush of tanks. She does have 3 in total. Drake has 2.5. Kindle is lacking some assets up here. Bring some tanks there. Very good. She only has a recon at the moment. Battle Copper up north. And that booster strike allowed that infantry unit to get 1 point retaliation as well. Trying to flip some properties. There's only one property. Technically, 2 properties are despicable neutrals: the city and the lab. The lab not important unless it's Kindle's superpower and day to day. But being captured is only mattered for her superpower. Provides no income. So Kindle does have 3,000 income, which is nice. Does have 25,000. She could go for a Neo tank and bunch of infantry this turn, or maybe a bomber. I'm not sure. Taking up would be a great idea. Would be a fun idea. Doesn't mean it's a good idea. Gets a booster strike. Does know the tank there, so she willing to set the tank in there. The tank is on a property, so will perhaps take 5 points of damage, can heal up to 7 and retaliate for and probably win the fight. So it can win the duel with this tank, especially thanks to her retaliation capability. Battlecopter is heading up north. Nice little boost there. Medium tank, so no bomber. Goes medium tank, tank, infantry. No medium or no Neo, no bomber. Drake has a medium tank out of the field as well. And Kindle has 5 tanks out here. That's quite a bit. Get some decent damage there. Interrupted capture has her Urban Blight now. Let's see. Would interrupt this capture and give her massive boosted strikes from this property. Or at least a boosted strike. And possibly from here as well. She won't get much global damage done. But I think it'll be worth it just for the boosted strike capability. Goes back up right there. Yeah, I think it'll be a good idea to pop the... Of course, it'll be hard to boost off of this. No, the 3 damage there is the ability to take it out. Will we see Urban Blight? Let's find out. A little bit extra power charge. Get the free kills there. That she does not need the plus 10 the effects of the power. Is a good idea. Squeezing out with this extra power charge is actually vital. Always try to squeeze as much power charge before popping power. Pops it. Wounds this one. Be easy break from these tanks, and then the retaliation damage will be massive. Takes that one out, and now she has plus 80% firepower from the property, plus 10% of the comm tower, and additional 10% for activating power. So right now, her off of property, she gets a total plus 100% firepower, so she should be able to one-shot even tanks on planes. Yep. Maybe I'm better get a first strike on the tank, honestly. Does do it right there. Could get a booster strike onto this recon. Use the recon. Booster strike from the recon infantry. Okay. And allows her not to strike the tank. Just ignore the fog of war bugs. That is perfectly in visual range. I think it would have been better to take out the tank there or not put a round into it. But she does need something to stop the battlecopter, which is probably out of vision range. So this battlecopter will cause some issues. But she has a pretty good swarm of tanks. We could see a tsunami to cause issues. First, got a bit of global damage there. Forced repair, including the black boat, which is actually quite nice. Repairing the black boat is not necessary, but mandatory because it's on top of the port. Takes the battlecopter there. Excuse me. Pops the superpower, manages to squeeze out the Typhoon, and this will do a lot of damage. and squeeze out with a last strike, looks like. Ends the turn of 110. Kindle will start the turn 93. It was effective about, well, 30,000 damage from that Typhoon. Takes a strike then on the anti-air. Good strike there. Could have got a booster strike from the battlecopter onto the tank, but try to get as much damage on the anti-air, looks like. Of course, things on the factories will consume repairs. Takes off that unit there. The battlecopters will going to cause some issues. Medium tank just gets a bit of repairs there. Anti-air infantry puts the T-copter on the airport. And it says 13 fuel is not a whole lot. It's been getting good uses either way. Drake's turn. Kindle ended the turn of 101. Drake will start the turn of 100, so it looks like he's starting to pull ahead. Actually, she ended the turn with a 10,000 in the bank. Okay, she's saving up for something. Maybe medium, maybe Neo, maybe bomber. Does not take out that tank there. Kindle is slowly whittled down. A lot of her stuff did get quite wounded thanks to Typhoon. The Typhoon really turned around down south. Takes out the anti-air. Artillery piece push way forward. Yeah, she does have another tank there. She can knock out the anti-air. Up here, can still go either way. Both players have some assets. This tank get on top of this property and get a boost strike onto the other tank, which will be 3 health versus 3 health. Kindle's turn. She's pretty close to an Urban Blight. Don't know if that's going to be useful. She still has a 3,000 income lead, which is very nice. She starts the turn with 23,000, so she got a lot of repairs. So she had 10,000 bank left over, but yet looks like a lot of repairs happened. Interrupts the capture there. Medium tank pushes way forward. Keeping battlecopter safe from the opponent's battlecopter. Bit of repairs there. Gets booster strike there. Finish off the infantry. Urban Blight is available. Could be worth it to save it. Wait until she needs to use the booster strikes. It's easy for Drake to play off the around properties, but there's so many properties in this map. It's actually somewhat hard to play around. You not only can't be on top of, you can't be adjacent to it. Get some good strikes there. Got, of course, Drake's medium tank now engaging. Artillery, anti-air tank. Good strikes there. Couple good hits there. Takes out the recon. Pops the power. The Urban Blight looks like they got a bit of damage to this anti-air. Of course, stuff back there. This goes for a stealth. Okay. Once Drake sees a stealth, he needs to pop his power. Didn't see the stealth, pops the power. So this stealth will get refueled and repaired. It's a good strike there. Got some repairs onto the stealth now. Does go ahead and hide there. He can refuel it with the black boat. A stealth can hit everything, barring submerged subs. Good strike here on the battlecopter. Medium tank does fall back, 9 health, so nothing too significant. Of course, the Drake medium tank is still here as well. Anti-air infantry recon. Drake right now has 20,000 in funds. Kindle ended the turn of 112. Drake starts with 112 with 20,000, so they're effectively back down day to day, with Drake probably having a slight advantage at the moment. Does get a good strike on the column tower. And Drake's pulling back here. Tank infantry. It's 5,000 in the bank. Stealth, and maybe good idea for the black bow to refuel the stealth. The stealth probably should attack the battlecopter. Have the actually, let's see, can get on top of the column tower, fire on the battlecopter, then resupply with the black boat. Knocks out. I wonder how much damage does a boosted strike from a stealth does to a battlecopter? A lot. And of course the black boat can refuel it. And this should raise some flags on for Drake. He does have enough income for a fighter. At 20,000 income plus his 5,000 in the bank, he should probably go for fire to help deal with the stealth. Because right now the stealth can only be stopped by missiles, fighters, and other stealths. Of course, it can be surrounded by units, or should I say targets, which may not be a real possibility. Possibly, though surrounded with the infantry, 1 health infantry, and the anti-air, but the 1 health infantry can easily be broken. Start for turn with 24,000. We'll probably need to pull out a fighter and triple infantry. There's some good artillery strikes there. Trying to block the anti-air or the stealth, but double recon battlecopter infantry, so he's just going to eat the stealth. He's probably have to pop his TIE Tsunami as often as he can, but the black boat can help fix that issue. Now I get fuel, ammo, and also repair that 1 point of damage. Stealth probably should attack the anti-airs to allow the battlecopter more free reign over the region. Plus, that would be a boosted strike. How much would a boosted strike do to, it doesn't one-shot it. Decides to knock out the artillery piece, get a good shot there. Urban Blight cannot be brought on in. Goes for an APC down there. I don't think he really needs an APC with the black boat available. Kindle's medium tank is on the region, plus Drake's medium tank as well. Since the medium tank showed up, neither side's been hyper aggressive down there. And looks like I'm gonna try to surround the stealth once again. Possibly could do with the 3 health anti-air. Surround the stealth, but they've of course got this tank here. Let's see. Take out this, then maybe take out the infantry if possible, then use a boost strike onto this anti-air somehow. It'll probably have to be the battlecopter to take out the anti-air, then maybe the anti-air can take out the infantry there, and then use the tank, get a boost strike onto the anti-air. That's probably what I'll do. I'm assuming just 1 moment. Yep, with plus additional +10/+10 for activating the power. That's how I think Kindle should play. Does use the Urban Blight. Let's see. Gets a good strike there. Maybe the anti-air can finish off. Does. Good strike there. Medium tank is in range of the medium tank, but it's just out of vision range. Spots it. Knocks out the tank. It gets a good shot there in the anti-air, or the artillery. Making great headway down there. Artillery get a good shot on the tank, medium tank, but that's about it. Good strike there. Anti-air's in range. Oh, use the infantry unit. Perfectly fine. I was thinking anti-air, but that works fine as well. Knocks it out. Now the anti-air can help break out the stealth. Great strike there. Maybe the stealth can hit one of these more valuable targets. Use the stealth to engage the infantry. I sort of disagree with that. I thought maybe striking the artillery piece would have been better. Maybe worried about something popping up over here. Urban Blight does damage these units. Still no counter the stealth. Does get good strike on the medium tank, as I thought. That tank strike did not go well now, did it? Yeah, the counterattack damage from the boosted Urban Blight is quite devastating. There's a superpower. And now the stealth is down to 11 fuel, can fall back to... Wait, it'll burn like 8 fuel this turn, right? Something ridiculous. How much fuel does a stealth burns each turn? It's like extraordinarily high, does it? It's not 11 fuel. Wait, it's like 5 fuel per turn plus 7, right? Will it crash this turn? Would it be able to reach the black boat? It's like it just needs 3 move, or it just needs 2 move to get over to the comm tower to get resupplied by the black boat. But it may actually crash. It ends the turn with, okay, it does burn, let's see, 8 fuel each turn. Got it. I always forget to get the exact amounts. We don't see stealth all too often. I always forget exactly how much day to day. I just know in my mind it's logged as super high. I thought it was like 5 day to day plus an extra 7 per turn. But it has enough fuel to get back to the black boat. It can move right there and put a shot on the anti-air at 0 fuel, and now it's 60 with 9 health. And plus, it started next turn, the black boat can get another repair onto it, getting it up to 10 fuel. Good strike from 2 health. Takes out the infantry unit there. Kindle ends turn about 124 versus 107 plus day to day, so they're about even, with Kindle having probably a day advantage about right now. Drake's starting to even equalize down here. This medium tank still exists. Of course, Drake has forces up here. Kindle, not so much. Both sides of lack units. Of course, the stealth is nice, but going to strike 1 target per turn. As 17,000 in monies available this turn, or funds. Good strike there. Finish it off. Anti-air just stays into the forest. Couple mechs up there. Good booster strike there on the tank. The medium tank could take out the medium tank. Decides to fall back to the forest, trying to get back to a property to get repealed or repaired. Anti-air, artillery, infantry. Got multiple tanks being reinforced by Kindle. No anti-air over here to deal with the battlecopter. It's way back here. Artillery gets a great strike there. Battlecopter finished it off. Takes out... Does not take out the tank. Anti-air will take it out. Kindle has an Urban Blight available, which a booster strike of a 2 elf medium tank into the anti-air is possible. Can't say that's a great idea though. So I think the medium tank is just done for at this point. Might as well get what value can get out of it now. Got another medium tank back here. Urban Blight can be brought on in. Drake ends turn of 127. Kindle starts the turn of 123 on the field plus day-to-day. So it's back down to day-to-day with Kindle having a slight advantage, I would say. Good strike there. Finish off the infantry unit. Infantry. Stealth. Not being aggressive. Making small movements overall. So the stealth is over defensive. Does get trapped by the recon there. Medium tank does manage to fall back to property, trying to wall it in, but of course there's avenue for the battlecraft to push straight forward. Which it would be out of range out of the interior if it goes right there. My apologies. Battlecopter gets strike onto the tank. And onto the tank. So the ATR should be able to get some good work done from onto one of these battlecopters. Artillery piece pushing forward in pretty good position. Got another infantry tank and battlecopter. Good number of tanks reserved right now for Drake. He is starting to pull ahead. Brings back this infantry unit there with the APC. Takes out that unit, no problem. Does get the stealth resupplied, but not being aggressive enough. Maybe good idea to send it down south. Front switch the stealth. It can be resupplied with the APC in transit. Pops Urban Blight at the end of the turn. Which, just trying to whittle down, trying to interrupt this capture likely. Right now, she does have a slight income advantage. But it's so slight, which suggests to me there's a neutral property somewhere. Or just captured this one, I should say. Should fly down to 20. Get back 20. Ends the turn with 13,000 bank as well. She may be eyeing for a bit more valuable asset. Maybe another stealth. Tank does go down to tank. Finish off some of these outlying units. Property will be captured next turn. Kendo may want to make sure this stealth is next to an APC or Black Bolt at the end of next turn, since chance of a tsunami is likely. Tank can be able to take out this medium tank. Does start at turn 33, so Mega Tank could be possible. I think a Mega Tank would be too slow. Resupplies the stealth, pushing way forward. Still does not spot a fighter because there simply has not been one. Gets trapped on that tank. Tank's creeping the way forward. Neo Tank. I think a Neo Tank may be a good idea. Quick enough to get over here. Takes another strike from the artillery piece. This artillery piece has been very effective. He may pop the tsunami in turns. There is a fighter. Get some decent power charge there. Kendall's starting to lose quite a bit over here. Ends there of 165 versus 144. So Drake is starting to pull ahead. Has 22,000 bank. Booster strike there. Knocks out that tank. Neo tank push way forward. Booster strike there. Gets on some of these units. Gets trapped on artillery piece of the battlecopter. Not great. And Kindle does resign. I suppose with a flank pretty much being lost down south. I think she could have pulled it around, but decides to surrender. Is angry, saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Delete this. And on to this one. Oh, I don't have to change the screen size. Very nice. Oh, there's also more Drake. Well, either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here of another Advance Wars by Web Replay. Spawn the south side as the Jade Son Drake. Blah. We got a foreign name. I can't read that. I have no idea how to read it. Spawn top side as the Azure Asteroid Andy. We got Gray Fox, which doesn't seem right. There we go. Spawn is the Gray Sky Andy. We got Gray Fox. Much better. Nope, the color scheme's a little different enough. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This map is of course, Fog of War map. Got triple bases. Harbor here, probably primarily meant for a lander, if you can stomach it. Both players do have an airport here behind a pipe scene, so could bust that open to get faster airport or fast deployment time of aircraft by half a turn. Both players do also have HQ somewhat in the middle, not really in the middle, off the side, with a 1 HP cruiser on top. Just help prevent, say, Sammy captures like that. Also provides a decent amount of vision around it. Cruisers do have 3 spotting range, similar to a tank. Now got double recon deployed by Drake. His vehicles are completely and utterly ordinary. Same with Andy's. Andy's hyper repair could counter Drake's power and or superpower, Typhoon or Tsunami. Of course, doesn't stop the fuel drain, but at least it can stop the health. Additionally, Andy's superpower does provide 10% extra firepower and +1 movement for all units, including foot soldiers. So Andy does have some utility. His hyper repair is a bit more possibility against COs with global damage. So we have to see, and plus it could also repair up this cruiser. Battlecopter infantry. So we've got the first battlecopter in the field. This Andy knows what an airport is. Got a couple of recons here, pushing aggressively forward, working together. Of course, this tank's out of vision range, but maybe not for much longer. He does spot one recon there, so he can try to play around the vision. Does spot both recons out, can try to play around the vision. Slightly push the tank forward, so he can able to get a good retaliation strike. Drake does have 2 tanks, recon and artillery piece back here, so we've got triple recon by Drake. Andy has gone for his own recon, a good number of tanks, and of course the battlecopters. So overall, Andy has more capability to punch his opponent in the face. But Drake does have a lot of good harassment forces to stop the infantry. Tank, infantry. Does get a good strike onto the recon. And Andy has actually deployed out an APC, which may be a good idea for Drake since he is, of course, can cause some fuel drain, but maybe a little bit too early for that. Infantry are advancing. There's also a pair of comm towers in the map, as well as a lab. Lab is pretty much pointless. Comm towers not so much, which Andy did get interrupted. He could try a bit of a joint capture there. But with recon and tank nearby, the good chance that it will just be focused down next turn. But the battlecopter does get a good strike on the recon, so maybe he can completely interrupt the capture, completely stop it. We've got this tank here and this tank here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's just heads up north, not trying to gauge that. In theory, if he gets 5 points of damage, the recon maybe get another point of damage to prevent the capture of the comm tower even further. There's now +1 comm tower for Drake. Now we've got a battlecopter for Drake. Does have 30% less firepower on air units, so it's a little bit of a problem there, but nothing too significant. Tank, anti-air, or artillery, another tank. Drake now has 19,000. Andy has 20,000 income. Good first strike there on that tank. Does use artillery piece there. Good knockout. Does knock out that tank there. Gets an interrupt there. Andy now has his hyper repair. At this point in time, hyper repair could top off his health tank on this right there to 6 health, which may be not really a good idea. You could charge for this tank here and get it repaired up afterwards. Right now, Drake has a lot of tanks in the middle of the map. In here and tank. Trying to catch some more properties. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Pops the hyper repair. That's sort of interesting. Does get a nice counter strike there, wiping out that unit. Also gets the passive +10/+10. Get some good damage there, try and capture some of these properties. Got now 3 tanks by Drake. He could pop his Tsunami to get some global damage, and Andy won't be able to repair that up. There could be a case made for the Tsunami this turn. Gets a good damage on his various infantry units. Gets a good strike there. Takes out that tank entirely. Couple more tanks and an artillery piece. And he does start the turn with 2200, but probably will not be going for a Neo Tank or Bomber this turn. There'll be a lot of base skips. Unless it gets a merge going, but probably not. Good strikes there. Tsunami or Typhoon could be deployed out next turn, possibly. Depending on how much damage Andy takes this turn, he could perhaps get into hyper repair to follow up. May pop the Tsunami or Typhoon. He does not. Wait a turn, looks like. Into here. Oh, pops at the end of the turn. Could have got it a little bit better, but does pop at the end of the turn. Andy course could try to get a little power charge going to get the hyper repair going. Probably a good idea. Looks like we'll not be able to squeeze out hyper repair this turn. Right now, Drake has quite a bit of forces down here. Good strike from the artillery piece. Takes out that battlecopter. Hyper repair is now available. He may just need to pop it the next turn. But a lot of units are taking a decent amount of damage now. And getting fully wiped out instead. That tank does not go down. Wait a second. Should this cruiser be at 3 health? He popped the hyper repair before, as these cruisers can't be affected by Andy's repair? I don't think Drake got... No, it was his superpower that put it back down to 1 health. I'm an idiot. While squeezing out some extra damage and power charge before popping his power. Does not pop his power, so maybe just trying to save a superpower. Boss stuff getting pretty wounded, and 1 health units can become 6 health units. And he's probably going to try to squeeze out a hyper upgrade this turn. Got a medium tank on the field as well. Andy will start the turn with 102. Drake ends the turn with 134. So Andy's about a turn behind. Turn and a half. Does manage to pop the superpower there. Goes from 102 to 123. A lot of things got repaired up quite nicely. Like the cruise on top of his HQ. Now all of his units also have +1 movement range and +10% digital firepower. As well as plus the additional power, +10% power from the super power and or superpower. So it does have a small power boost, small movement boost, and of course, good repair boost. Good damage there. Takes out that infantry unit there. Battle Cup gets a good strike. A lot of good first strikes on those tanks there. Strike doesn't have a medium tank in the field. Mace pop a Tsunami or Typhoon next turn. Another APC. This other one still is, well, of course now at full health, but still alive. I don't think another APC is useful. I guess he's just concerned about the fuel drain. Pops a superpower there. So Andy probably took about 30,000 damage there. Of course, taking a good amount of damage now. Just wait till the next turn and see how much health or how he has left in the field. Another medium tank applied by Drake. Infantry. Drake ends the turn with 110. Andy will start the turn with 98. So it's back down to turn with Andy slightly falling behind. Of course, he doesn't deal with rain this turn. Oh wait, no, that's still the same APC there. I am out of it. 2 more tanks and infantry unit. Decent strike there. Medium tank push right forward. Anti-air. Another anti-air there and infantry. Andy hasn't been building too many battle copters. Has 2 in the field. 1 which is low in fuel. Medium tank push right forward. Looks like Drake did keep a little bit of a bank there. I think that's 132 versus Andy's starting 117 with 20,000 banks. So it's back down to day, as I mentioned beforehand. Small strike there. Good strike there. Takes out that infantry unit there. That property still despicable neutral. There's actually a good number of properties still despicably neutral. Both players have 23,000 income. A lot of anti-tanks charging way forward. They all have a decent amount of health, damage onto them, and low in fuel. Tank infantry has nothing really stopped the medium tanks at the moment. Drake has a good number of tanks on the field as well. Now that medium tank is in range artillery piece, but does take a 40 knocks out there. I thought it was going to leave at least 1 health remaining. And he now has his hyper repair that may be necessary. There's a lot of Drake takes in the middle of the map, including a couple mediums. And of course, Drake has now pulled out full Neo Tank. And he does start to turn 27,000. A lot of things could be useful. Maybe he's going for a bomber. There's some of these outlying infantry units off. There's Strike there. Could see hyper repair by the end of the turn. Let's see what deploys on the field. Bomber. Infantry, infantry, infantry. Takes out the battlecopter there. Hyper upgrades almost available. And a lot of things just being outright finished off. Hyper repair is now available. Recon, battlecopter, infantry. And he has now ends starts turn 99 with 25,000 in the bank. Drake ends turn for 133 with 6,000 in the bank. So Drake is pulling pretty far ahead. And he may save up his superpower for when a Typhoon pops. Goes for a Neo Tank now. Going back some units. Can't really make use of the +1 movement range nor the healing at the moment. Pulls back from this flank. Not too much infantry here to capture the properties. May need to go for a T-Copper or an APC at the current rate. Does go for an APC now. And of course gets a recon and battlecopter. Hyper upgrade still available, but I don't think it'll be popped this turn. With about everything pulling back. And he's starting to stabilize. Drake has a good amount of units on the field, but just hasn't been aggressive. He is about 1 day ahead right now. Both players just repositioning. Got more recon, tank, battlecopter, infantry. Typhoon's almost available. Antivirus may wait for that to be popped before it pops hyper upgrade. Medium tank and more infantry. Both sides are just not being aggressive anymore. Another Neo Tank deployed up by Andy. And looks like Drake is trying to capture multiple properties, 4 properties. This will force a response. We're probably going to see a big conflict next turn. Neo Tank. Let's see right now. He does spot 2 neutral properties being captured. This one is out of vision range. And of course, he sees his own property being captured there. He can't let that happen. Sabzak captured. Tsunami is now available for Typhoon. Tanks heading up north, trying to rotate around. Bomber as well. APC nearby. We're going to see a big, massive conflict, and here comes Tsunami. Here comes Tsunami. And he's end of the turn 200,000, so this is probably like 40,000 damage. Drake has a 217. Both players just stockpile quite a bit. A lot of Drake does not have vision up here, so I wonder how this is going to go. He has good vision in the area now. There's strikes there. Pushing pretty far forward. Doesn't see the double. Only sees one Neo tank. Hasn't seen the bomber yet, has he? This, I have no idea how that's going to go. He's making great headway there. Still has not seen the bomber. But this is quite a massive force. And here comes a hyper upgrade. Look at the value that's got 238 versus 133 starting. Let's see how this goes. Goes up to 160. Secondary Neo tank pops on up. No vision on this Neo tank. Takes out that one unit there. Breaks through there. Gets a strike on that anti-air. Neo tank is good strike there on the medium tank. Take out some of these outlying units. Trying to flip a property now. Finish off that tank there. Got trapped. Let's see, end of the turn of 185. Drake started turn with 176, so he did even out, but he's still ahead by a little bit, but it's back down to day to day. And he does have an anti-air in range of the bomber, barring the pathing, of course. He's about to fight 10% additional defense and a bit more retaliation damage. And overall, Andy does have still 2 Neo tanks here, which Drake doesn't have anything to really stop these Neo tanks. He can stop the bomber, but not the Neo tanks. And of course, a wounded medium tank to support out as well. Good strike there. Bomber does get shot down. Neo tank on Neo tank. He could try. Nope, he does not have any power charge from this, so he can't pop a hyper repair to top off some of these units. Neo can get a good first strike there on the Neo tank. Neo tank, infantry. And he starts the turn 25,000. Has 123. So Drake still has a decent lead at the moment. Does not take out the cruiser. Takes out the cruiser. Battlecopter hits Battlecopter. Neo tank strikes the Neo tank. Got now another tsunami available. If he really wants to put a squeeze on opponent's field, could try that. Trying to capture the property with some health infantry, at least force reaction. Allows him also to capture other properties while at it. Neo tank infantry. We may see the tsunami here. Pops the tsunami. A lot of low fuel now. A lot of stuff going down up here for Andy. Neo tank goes down. He has, of course, only one reinforcing Neo tank. He's going to be fighting against a Neo tank and a medium tank. This medium tank is probably going to fall back to a property, get some healing. Stops the capture there. I think Andy's starting to disintegrate a little bit too much. Anti-air, Battlecopter tank. Ends turn of 184. Andy will start with just 85, so he's down by 100,000 with yield. Does have, of course, his day-to-day. Gets a good strike there. Pops the hyper repair. I don't know if that's going to be useful. I think he's just going to do one last hurrah before resigning at the current rate. Does get some good damage down south, that's for sure. Yep, that's what it was. I thought so. This Android saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I start the next replay, I do need to use the restroom. Please give me one moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see now. And yep, don't need to adjust the mini map or the stream whatsoever. Oh, I heard bugged out music there. Whenever you hear bug out units, don't play it, refresh. There we go. If I ever hear bugged out music, it's going to have bugged out audio in the game. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the north side as the Gray Sky Max, we got Vulcan Gray. Perfect. So on the south side as the Orange Star Olaf, we got Sujid. I butchered that name well enough. What I'm thinking as well. Yeah, my mind's a little bit fried at the moment. When it comes to this map, it is a triple base map of one airport here. We do also got harbors here, which is in a somewhat decent position, so battleships are a possibility, but not likely because that'll be an expensive investment for a powerful static emplacement. And especially for Max, who's also direct unit specialist, so maybe a Olaf battleship, but unlikely still. Both players do have a city captured as well as alternative to the no lab income of, well, the labs. But it's also in the corner on the opponent side of the map, which is uncapturable. There's no shores or a transport to drop off anything there. Either way, let's go and get started. Of course, just initial infantry capturing phase. Both players try and eye for their third base, neutral base first. Remember, third is first. We do now have a Olaf recon plotted view. There's a lot of plains here, not as many roads as one would like for harassment, but these shores are effectively roads for the recon, so maybe it's not too bad. Charging way forward, do have a recon here from Max for maximum recon. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like Olaf's recon still doesn't spot anything. Could just push forward to the forest. Does spot a whole bunch of stuff there. Has another recon up here, as well as an Olaf artillery piece. Max goes for another recon here. Probably tank this turn. Does get trapped. Now Max has wild tank. He could take time to interrupt this capture, or could take time to shoot the recon there. Probably a good idea to shoot the recon. Another tank, infantry. And does get a shot there, doing actually really bad. How bad was that? A little bit low ruck. There's more 50-50 chance of it giving 4 points of damage. Looks like he lost the coin flip. And Max, let's see, at 7 health, rolled max luck. Max rolled max luck as retaliation. So pretty bad luck there by Olaf, and good luck by Max. And does get good retaliation damage there. Yeah, that was really bad luck by Olaf. Artillery piece pushing way forward. Got the comm tower captured up by both players now. Olaf tank here. Max has got double tank on the field. You've got a secondary artillery piece by Olaf. The long game goes on, the better Olaf will do for CO powers. Let's see, I always have to remind myself on some of these COs. Max does have his power provides some +1 movement. Yeah, +1 movement with his power. Superpower provides +2 movement, and his attack goes from 20%, 30% to 50%. Double tank by Max. So Olaf is probably trying to go for slower, more static units, trying to draw out the game, while Max is going to be for aggressive units, because it probably would be better for him to be aggressive rather than defensive against Olaf. Because every time Olaf casts his superpower, it's guaranteed to do a minimum of 20% damage to his opponent's army. And that's just a minimum. Does get good shot there. As only the minimum, let's just compare it. Take one infantry unit. Cast a Blizzard on it, goes from 10 HP to 8 HP. So 200 funds of damage. But let's say there's two 5 health infantry units. Both of them goes from 5 HP to 3 HP, causing 400 damage rather than 200 damage. So it's just a 20% minimum, with likely to cause a lot more than that. Good strike there. Olaf artillery piece down south. Maybe we'll strike some good infantry. Max probably should not push forward his infantry nearby since he knows about the tank. Got multiple Olaf battlecopter field. Max not deployed out any battlecopters. He does have a recon there. Or not recon, anti-air. For maximum anti-air. Interrupts the capture there. Does have a tank here to support. Does put the artillery piece there, knowing put the infantry in the range of the artillery piece. Anti-air, recon, battlecopter, infantry. So that lab will probably be interrupted this turn. Does use the recon there. Does not use the artillery piece there. Pushes the artillery piece on top of the lab. Gets trapped. Some good small engagements there for Olaf. Max does have 2 tanks here. Olaf only has the 1. Battlecopter rotating around. That'll help him even out the playing field down south. This anti-air could go. He knows about the battlecopter up here. So this anti-air is probably going to head up there, which means this one may respawn not in time against this battlecopter. Gets a kill there. Taking some more victories down south. Interrupts the capture entirely. Right now it's Olaf only has 16,000 funds. Max is 22. This is actually quite massive. I wasn't paying attention to this, assuming the early capture game is just pretty even, but Olaf is really falling behind the capturing game. That is quite bad. Down by 6,000. Which is effectively 25% less or 33% more, depending which angle we look at. Trying to capture some of these properties now. This looks like he will get this one. Flipping wood will be a good first step. This one at least be a good bait for the artillery piece. Finish off that unit there. Good first strike there. ATR is pretty far away. Though the battlecopter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of course, a lot of those stuff nearby, so charging forward like that. The battlecopter can't range anything. We need the superpower to get range on the other battlecopter. But that'd probably be a death sentence. Max Force activated, gain +1 movement range for all direct units, barring foot soldiers. And increase the power from 20% to 30%, so +10, Plus 10 for activating the power and superpower. And plus 1 movement range. We have a Blizzard available. Probably not going to be popped. Gets good strike there on the artillery piece. The extra 1 range is being very useful. Battlecopter can't really do much for the nearby anti-air, but probably just sack itself on the tank. Artillery piece can finish off that tank as well. Infantry, battlecopter, tank. Looks like Olaf's just pulling back everything up there. Probably a good idea. Tank falling back. Gets good strike there, the battlecopter. The anti-air's in range, out of vision range though. Still out of vision range. Also double artillery piece here, so if the anti-air strikes from this angle, it will be struck by the artillery piece. Of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Looks like this artillery piece is coming out of vision range, so you may misplace this anti-air. Of course, doesn't see this other one there. Good first strike there. Does not misplace the anti-air, so takes out both battlecopters and looks like it's going to be for free. So this anti-air is maybe in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is in range. Olaf now has a superpower available, which also makes Max particularly slow next turn. Max will end the turn with 110 on the field. Olaf starts 75. This is effectively going to knock out about 22,000 funds at minimum. Of course, we won't see until the next turn, thanks to the Fog of War. Does take out that tank there. Won't be able to stop the anti-air from engaging the battlecopter. Takes out that anti-air there. Olaf does have good presence down the center of the map, but nothing really here to exert pressure versus the anti-air of all things. Does have an anti-air of his own, of course. Could see a Max Force this turn, but with the snow, maybe not a good idea. Just take smart engagement and just reorganize. He starts the turn with 81,000 versus 82, so pretty even, but he still has a day-to-day income. Pops the Max Force. Let's see how he does. Good strike on the anti-air. He has still pretty good presence down here. Anti-air wins the fight. 2 artilleries will help slow him down. Economic advantage is still in favor of Max, but only by a smaller mountain right now. Recon, infantry, battlecopter. Artillery piece takes out the recon, but nothing to threaten the tank nor the anti-air. It is starting to clean up the northern part of the map. Olaf has a good number of tanks up here, but there's a battlecopter. Anti-air nowhere nearby. Tank, infantry. So this battlecopter can get some good work done. Of course, now this tank can strike the artillery piece and knock it out. 4 capture progress left on that property as well. That could be flipped, and that's going to be big against Olaf. Takes out the artillery piece. We've got a good number of max tanks here. We've got a couple of tanks here by Olaf. So you could win the tank fight, but the problem is the battlecopter. Medium tank, infantry. It's going back down day to day, but it looks like Max is ahead at the moment. Good strike there. Artillery piece get a good strike there. These artillery pieces are doing some good work. Finish off that tank there with the other tank. Artillery piece pushing up north. Anti-air heading up north as well. Anti-air, tank, infantry. Ends the turn with 96. Max starts with 84. It's back down to day-to-day changes. Looks like this one last despicable neutral property on the map, barring this lab. Oh, there's another one right there. Loads is not available. Probably not likely to see it. Good strikes there. He is lacking anti-air down here as well. Tank infantry. Artillery gets a good strike there. Olaf artillery has been quite good so far this game. 1 anti-air, 2 battle copters. All he needs to do is make sure this tank does not strike this anti-air. It's on top of 4, so it should be fine enough now. Get some good strikes there. Try and wound everything before the max blast or max force comes on in, which I think he succeeded. Got a 2 health, so it'd be 4 health tank there. 1 health tank, 2 health recon. So overall, Max is not doing all too well down here. And he's actually losing quite a bit up here. And starting from 91 versus 77. He's, with his day-to-day income, he can pull slightly ahead, but still going back and forth. Battlecopter up here still getting some good work done. Wait, what? Oh, that was a 4 health tank. No, or a 5 health tank. Olaf now has a superpower available, so some of these units need to get on properties. The medium tank will be whittled down. Anti-air tank. And here comes the Winter Fury. Additionally, some of these units are actually at 1% health rather than 1 health. Max force now available. Artillery piece falls back. Knocks out that tank. Anti-air finish off the healthier battlecopter. Some of these artillery pieces, this artillery piece shows the low ammo indication, but in this game, ammo's generally not an issue. If a unit actually generally runs out of ammo, it did some good work. I sort of like how Days of Ruin made it so ammo capacity as well as fuel capacity is lower, so it makes it a bit more of an integral part of the game. And even then, it's still not pops up all too often. And max force, max blast, all depends if he needs a +1 or +2 movement range probably. Pops the max force, which allows him to follow up punch with another max force as well. Howdy. Getting some damage there. Also, the chat window's a little bit too high. Give me a moment. There we go. That's good enough. Battlecopter gets knocked out. Got a couple tanks here. Property being captured. A despicable neutral property still. I wonder if anybody gets that reference. Oh well. There's that infantry unit there. Finishes some of these outlying units there. Takes the battle cover. Tank here. Wounded, but on top of property. Out of vision. Stops. No, does not interrupt it. You see he has 2 capture progress left. And now it's stopped. Permanently. For now. Artillery piece, battlecopter, and double base skip. He has 2,000 funds. He could have got double infantry. I'm not sure why he went for double base skip. But Olaf has been doing quite good with these artillery pieces. This tank is pretty much dead. Bit of joint capture is necessary on this one. Good meme strike, tank strike there. Max force is now available. Of course, his turn's pretty much used up, so you can follow up with another max force next turn. But this artillery piece is in range. Artillery piece here is not in range of the medium tank. Good strikes there. Anti-air knocks out the tank there. Takes out all these outlying units. This tank cannot range his infantry units, so the capturing progress will be reserved. Next turn will be down to 8, then be merged to become 8. So math works. Checks out. Good strike there. Takes out that unit. Artillery piece gets on top of the lab. Recon tank. And let's see, Max starts to turn 22,000. Still has a 4,000 income lead, which actually is quite significant. But he has only 60,000 in the field versus 111. Of course, it's still day to day, but he's about 2 turns behind. That's getting catastrophic levels of losses. Tank, anti-air. Spends all of his monies. And there you go. Merge and 8 capture progress left. Math. I don't know why, I just sort of like that. It's like perfectly ready to capture. I amuse myself too much. Recon there. Of course, got the Max Blast available. Battlecopter, infantry. This Max Blast is probably Max's last chance to get back in the game, but of course he has no vision down here, and not really much vision up here. I don't know, this will probably not go good. He can strike for 1 tank, he probably can't pop a Max Blast this turn. Let's find out what he does. Does pop the full Max Blast superpower. Takes the Battlecopter. Good strike there on the anti-air. This tank may be able to take out the artillery piece. But there's already another artillery piece here. This artillery piece, and of course a Battlecopter. Does take out one of the artillery pieces there. This one, with 3 ammo remaining, is still perfectly fine. No, actually Max Blast wasn't half bad. It's a good strike there, 2 health artillery piece. But we may see the Winter Fury. It doesn't really matter when he pops the Winter Fury, start, end, or middle of the turn. He just needs a little bit more damage, which is very likely, so we'll see the Winter Fury this turn. How about right now? Probably should have popped it before these engagements, because also increases power by plus 10%. This tank could have gone down with the Winter Fury. He's just not going for it? Is he waiting next turn? You got triple tank there. Pops it. I say he should have popped it immediately. Artillery, tank, infantry. He ends the turn from 90,000. Max starts the turn 67. Max also has a decent amount of money stored on up. Oh, no, that's his day to day. He had to consume actually a lot for repairs. There's some of these outlying forces. And how much is on that turn? 22,000. Has 2 artillery pieces in range. You know, this artillery piece, if it fires on this tank, we'll probably need to start eyeing for some resupply relatively soon. So maybe have the recon finish off, infantry could probably help finish it off, and then put the artillery piece there on the city just to get it resupplied. Because 1 ammo remaining is actually something you should try to avoid. Also quite impressive how artillery piece getting down to 1 ammo. It's still at 2 ammo. Decides not to resupply it. Just eyes for a good positioning for it. If it gets down to 0 ammo, impressive. It's really hard for artillery piece to get out of ammo. But it's now out of life. Max getting some good comeback down here. It's been knocked out, drag out brawl so far. A lot of artillery pieces are slow. He needs more tanks overall in the field, I would say. He's lacking tanks up north and south. Max has a massive number of tanks. Battlecopters wouldn't be half bad as alternative as well. Get some good strikes there. He's been doing very well with the artillery pieces, don't get me wrong on that, but Max can easily turn things around with a good wave of tanks. Gets trapped there. And this tank artillery piece is going to be good bait. For the 6 health tank. A lot of good targets up there, which this artillery piece If he attacks from this angle, he will be out of range of the artillery piece. Oh, that 6 health tank will likely go down next turn. Does get trapped. Max is starting to really turn around, looks like. Tank recon. Max instead of 90,000. Olaf starts turn with 77, so it's going back down day to day. Max has really turned around. He did make that max blast exactly what he needs. Does pull around the anti-air. He allows his battle copter more free reign. Finish off that unit there. Multiple battle copters heading up north. You may want to get a battle copter over here, at least more regular tanks as well. Recon gets a good strike there. Puts a tank on top of the forest. Battle copter, infantry. Goes for another artillery piece. Battle copter is effectively knocked out. Another Winter Fury is almost available. Same thing with Max Blast. These powers, superpowers, are almost costing the same amount of energy since Max has popped his power and superpower more often. Good strike there. Maybe by the end of the turn we will see a Winter Fury. Max Blast available. Does knock out some losses there. And there's the Winter Fury. Pop it immediately. And now we've got another Winter Fury. Max Blast available. Yes, some assets make use of the Max Blast, but of course Winter will slow them down a little bit. And turn of 92. Max starts a turn of 51, which is not too much. Pops superpower. Good strike there. Interrupts some captures. Is it going to be a resign? I don't know why that seemed like a resign move. He ends turn of 68. Olaf starts with 88, so he's about 2 turns ahead now. And that Max Blast did not accomplish all too much like the last Max Blast. I don't know, it just feels like the longer the game goes on, the more likely it's going to favor for Olaf. But now the superpowers are much harder to come by, and Max does have much more accessible power, usable power than Olaf. Recon, Battlecopter. Battlecopter in here, infantry. Battlecopter's a good strike. Anti-air on anti-air. There's some damage there, but now got the artillery piece in range, able to support these units no problem. That's artillery piece push way forward as well. You could try merging them in order to get some funds back and a full health artillery piece, but he is going to some repairs. Olaf's been doing very well with those artillery pieces. Tank, artillery, infantry. Takes out the battlecopter, interrupts the capture. This property could be flipped next turn. We'll stop it from being... No! 2 capture progress left, 2 HP left, so it will not be interrupted any further. The flip will happen. And there we go. Now Olaf has finally taken an economic lead. Battlecopter goes down. Battlecopter effectively gets knocked out. He doesn't want him to run. He can pop the Blizzard to reduce his move range by half. Good strike there. Knocks out the anti-air. Tank anti-air. Pops some max force. This may be his last power of this game. He starts the turn with 39,000 versus 115. He's falling severely behind. I think he may resign this turn. It's a good strike there. No, he does not resign. It feels, I don't know, a way for Max to get back in the game. He is pretty far badly. I don't think he can get to flip this game around any further. And Max Force didn't get a whole lot of value going, and now he's taking about as many losses as he deflected last turn. And Olaf's fired again, another Winter Fury. And does go ahead and resign there. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Could do this one. Turn's a little bit lower. Let's see if I have any. Okay, this one's. Actually, yeah, I think I want to do this one. Greetings everyone, and Angrade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. As well on bottom right side as the Purple Lightning Rachel, we got Macy Boo, capital 8. Well on top left side as Green Earth Kindle, we got Spirit Mare. Oh, I butchered that well enough. This map is a triple base map. There is a good number of shores here. Just pay close attention to the lighter colored water. This is a river, this is a shore. So there's some rivers, shores, and decent amount of sea in the corners, but that's not important. Base on both sides as well, but this is, you can see here, 2 mountains and a forest. So not very traversable here. Can break the pipes to push, punch and go more northern, but there is a longer path here to go up here. So this is more or less the weak side versus strong side component. Number of shores here with a mountain in the way as well, good for infantry. Bad for all the vehicles, so this is pretty much the primary vehicle base. But this one still needs a lot of vehicles to help provide projection to the left side. A couple pipe scenes in the middle of the map as well. And of course, both players do start out with a black boat on this map, but once he moves off the HQ, it can all get back on the HQ. But it'll still be a decent transport since it's all traversable shores. Both players have an airport. We also got a comm tower here and here, which is a mountain nearby, so artillery can help provide coverage around there. Has a nice little movement blocker in front of it. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. One player immediately pulls the black boat off, the other person waits a moment. You have a recon upload up by Kindle. I should mention day-to-days. Kindles gets plus 40% firepower from urbanized terrain. Ideas for more retaliation, because if you stay on a tank on top of a city, gets hit by another tank, you pull it back, put another tank on top of the city, and retaliate and finish it off. It's a very powerful retaliation tool, but also can be used to break some walls, depending on positioning. Gotta be ever so mindful. Rachel has her day-to-day, gets plus 1 HP for day-to-day repairs, but still costs the equal. Does cost 50% more, or still cost the funds for the extra 1 health repair. So it's not free repairs, additional repairs, just additional day-to-day repairs. If that would make any poor sense. Both sides will not be able to get to capture that comm tower, but probably both sides will be able to capture that comm tower. The one they just secured, cleared out. Mech deployed off by Purple over here. Both players also have access to day-to-day abilities, or not day-to-day abilities, global damage in form of power of Urban Blight and the Covering Fire. And I have to remember something as well. Rachel's power, I've always heard it's crap. Luck damage is improved to plus 0 to plus 39, so possible up to plus 30% firepower, but an average of 5 to plus 20% damage, which does multiply scale with plus firepower, such as calm towers and the power effect, but still not super great. Recon does get trapped by a mech, and the mech is on top of force. It's going to get a great time right there. A lot of properties captured by Rachel, and does finish off that recon there of the infantry. Very good mech strike. Rachel's superpower is far more useful. It's relatively cheap at 6 stars, and it's just it's very good. Kendall's power is more likely to see her than superpower, but her superpower is not bad. Just that her power is just extremely good. Additionally, I can see some spots where Kindle's power and day-to-day could be quite useful there. Got a lot of adjacent properties right there and diagonal properties, so there could be quite a bit of potential for the power and superpower there. We do have now APC deployed up by Kindle to give her a refuel the Black Bolt. Rachel, well, no, that's Rachel. Kindle's up here, did the same thing. Anti-air way down here. Gonna be a bit of time before I can get to the battlecopter, but the battlecopter was slowed down by the recon. Got now a battlecopter deployed out by Rachel. I don't know why, I always assumed purple would be more of a Kindle color, so that's sort of throwing me off. Does throw around into the pipe scene. Got a bit of contention around this property there. Has 10 capture progress left. Battlecopter region. Both players now secure the comm tower. Gets a shot there on the pipe scene with the battlecopter. Decent amount of mechs up here, so it looks like Magenta's just completely defense up here with mechs. There's a decent amount of mountains to project off of. Battlecopter, infantry. Kindle's turn now. Let's see. It's an okay strike there. Anti-air is now in range, so that battlecopter will likely go down. Now it has a bit of wall in front of it, so maybe it won't go down. Tank on the back line. Maybe better idea to deploy a tank on this one. Yeah, if it's going down south, 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2. Yeah, it's probably better to deploy it there, but sometimes just want infantry able to easily get into the Black Boat, as I can reach Black Boat in 1 turn. Does manage to break through, hit the battlecopter, very nice. Tank, of course, can retaliate against the anti-air, and decent amount of infantry here to be hit by the infantry. Couple mechs up there trying to push on the comm. There's a mountain which the mechs can play with, as well as the forest. There's another round of this pipe scene, putting down 55 health. Artillery piece here, so the artillery piece may fire a shot there. Does get a boost strike onto the infantry in the mountain, very nice. Get a lot of good chains of hits there. Both players have their power available. Could pop the Urban Blight, may just save up. And looks like the pipe scene was struck by the artillery piece. Got a lot of Kindle tanks now being deployed on the field. And let me just take a quick look at Rachel's power or superpower. I always forget exactly what it targets. Rachel's superpower, Cover Fire, fires 3 missiles, deal 3 damage each. The missile targets the opponent's greatest accumulation of... Whoops, I click on that window, so now it's playing other music. Oh great, I think my game's gonna bug out. Oh great, now there's 2 music playing. And that whole window's bugging out. Oh boy. I think I may have broke it. These sound plugins not reliable. I couldn't read it all and I clicked it. My bad. I told it to mute. Hopefully it does mute. No, until it mutes, I'm going to stop playing music here. Which also denies the ability to move around stuff. No, I don't know what to do. Hopefully they're in the same beat, so... No. I think they're offbeat from each other. Tiny Wars is actually so much more nicely programmed. More tanks there. Let's see, if I were to kill this window... The window is closed and the music's still playing. Oh, great. Maybe if I were to do a quick reload, copy that address. Kill Firefox. Give me a moment to kill it. And this will probably just reload the same tab. Yep. Advanced Wars sound plugins, not great. It's loading because Advanced Wars by Web is not the most agile of websites. There it goes. And this is turn 25. There we go. My apologies. Get some decent damage there. Next move around, gets a good strike there. Takes out that unit, get a boost strike onto the oh wait, no, that's Rachel, not Kindle. I always assume purple's Kindle. I don't know why. Kindle's definitely more of a purple color than Rachel. Capture that property, got a good strike there. Kindle's turn. Urban Blight still available. Prim Fire is almost available, and I am going to once again try to read Rachel's superpower again. The missile targets the greatest accumulation of foot soldier HP first, then unit value, and then unit HP in that order. So, mix of all the Sturm Meteors, just barring indirect and include infantry. Urban Blight was utilized there, getting some damage on this battle copter among other things. We got some of these outlying units. At least get to interrupt on those captures. APC resupplies the Black Boat. Taking out the Pipe Scene now. Doing some Pipe Scene down to 1 health. Does finish off there with the infantry unit. May see covering fire this turn. Both players are 18,000 income, so not exactly super high income at the moment for both players. Does take out that infantry unit there. Artillery, tank, infantry, so got a decent number of artillery deployed up by Rachel now. Ends the turn of 105. Kindle starts the turn of 191. So she's starting. Well, she also had a bit of money stored up. She has 24,000, so she could go for a Neo Tank this turn. Needs to interrupt that comm tower capture. Covering fire is now available. Does interrupt the capture here. Covering fire is what makes Rachel very good. It's a very powerful ability. Not exactly subject to RNG, but a little bit hard to get super high value off it. Just usually provides good value. Let's see now. Infantry one may hit here. I don't know if it also has to target an infantry unit directly, but it may target here, getting 3 infantry units. It'll probably target there. That's fine. And highest HP health could be right around here, or maybe here. Probably right here. And then the highest value damage one will probably be drawn to the black bolt. Probably be struck right around here. Not going for the superpower this turn. Pops it. Nothing in the front line got struck, at least I don't think. Yep, none of these guys got struck. I have a feeling it targeted quite a bit around here. Do I have to wait till Kindle's turn to see where it hit? Nothing in the front line got struck. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for Rachel. So I think Kindle baited out the rocket's missile silos quite well. Ends turn of 119. Kindle start turn of 88 with 13,000 in the bank. Let's see. I was correct. Looks like it struck these infantry units. One did strike here. One seems like it struck right here. That must have been the HP. Foot soldier, HP. And the value one struck here. I think I was spot on. It hit the anti-air there, so it must have struck like right there. But I think I predicted it almost perfectly there. Urban Blight was utilized there. Damage from some outlying units there. We'll be able to project off his property. Take something into here there. Does not resupply that infantry unit. Good strikes there. Stops the capture the comm tower. And this force of tanks is still alive and perfectly healthy, so baiting out the missiles there was actually very critical and very well done by Kindle. Whether it be on purpose or accident, it was well done. Battlecopter infantry. Rachel's turn, 13,000. Of course, had a decent number of repairs. Her +1 healing per turn fully repaired the damage from Urban Blight, but also ate a lot of funds from Urban Blight. Is that a good or bad thing? Eh, mixed bag. She does have a decent amount of artillery to help slow down the game. I don't know if she would rather be faster or slower versus Kindle. Both have forms of global damage. Artillery tends to make the game go slower, which is good for COs with global damage. But I have no idea if it's better if it versus 2 global damage. If it was versus Drake or Olaf, probably a bad idea since it's a more powerful global damage. Against Kindle, it's hard to say, honestly. Good number of battle cops in the field. Kindle has, let's see, ends turn of 82, starts turn with 89, so Kindle's starting to pull ahead. Great artillery strike there. Good damage there. 1 health mech could be healed up quite nicely, but unlikely to get the many repairs going. Rachel's one of those COs who actually can a bit more effectively pull back and repair, because most of the time you generally want to try to avoid it too much. But Rachel, since she has that +1 healing rate, it allows getting units back up in the fight much more quickly. Even just 1 extra turn of repair. After all, a 4 health tank going to 7 health tank is much more better than going to a 6 health tank. Mech gets a first strike there onto the anti-air, very nice. Battle Cup goes down. Lucky Last is now available, or whatever the Rachel version is called. Lucky Star, right? No. What is it called again? I always get her and Nell's CO names mixed up. It's actually the same name, isn't it, for the power? Okay, I have to look it up. Rachel, Lucky Star versus Lucky Last. Yep, I was right. It was Lucky Last. Here's my window. Or I could just highlight it over here. I'm an idiot. Good damage there. Recon does take a strike. We do have Covering Fire is almost available again. Urban Blight can be utilized. Could save it. Ends a turn of 100,000 is quite significant for 76. And if the Covering Fire happened, it's going to nuke right here. That's where mostly foot soldier value and HP is. So this area could get nuked by missile silos. Not as bad as a Storm Meteor, honestly. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Is she saving for high society? Probably not. This plug doesn't have enough vision to make good use of it. Covering Fire is now available. She's going to have to try to play around it, try to bait it out again. That's a pretty hard to bait. That's 3 missiles you have to count for. Try and flip the comm tower. Infantry nearby to stop it. Put an APC and Black Bolt next to each other, keeping units on top of the base has helped draw some damage. They can at least get repaired on up. Yep, we got the bait there. It's going to hurt, but this will allow this front to be still hyper aggressive. This front base doesn't exist for Kindle. No power, and here comes the superpower. It's got a lot of infantry there. It's got 3 infantry units here, so the infantry missile may strike here. This will hit 2. This will hit 2, 2. This could hit. One hit there. That's a 3 health one. But since this is an 8 health one, it may strike these 3 full health ones. Not sure. That'd be great for Kindle. Let's figure out where it goes. Nothing the front line hits, and with Fog War, we have to wait till next turn. I have a feeling that's possibly 2 or 3 going to strike missiles right here. Maybe 1 there. High Society can be brought on in. High Society maybe not super great on this map. 19 plus 1 cough property, so it will buff her damage up by 63% if I were to hazard a poor guess. Actually, just... yeah, probably not really worth it. I think Urban Blights would generally be a bit better right now. Let's see what she goes for. Also, all 3 of those missiles did land right there. Oof. Ends turn of 101 versus 74. Pops the Urban Blight, that's probably a better option. Let's see, just get damage on the fresh spawns and not on the mech. We'll get a hit onto the artillery piece, but looks like that's about it. Get a booster strike there. Good damage on the battlecopter. Trying to join and capture there. 2 capture progress left. That Covering Fire was pretty deadly. Oh, he got his, he did bait it there, but wasn't too much of a bait, honestly. That may have been too much bait there. I think he over-calculated the, Covering Fire there. And that mech finally gets to the city, so we'll get some good healing going. We'll take 3 turns to fully heal up, which is probably going to be worth it. Take some damage there. Could see another Urban Blight this turn. All depends how well Kindle does. Not looking good for Kindle at the moment. She's about a turn or 2 behind. Has Urban Blight available. Good strike there. Interrupts the capture. She may just hold on to the next turn. tank, infantry. Battlecopter on battlecopter. Rachel does have a good number of battlecopters here. Of course, most of them are damaged, or all of them are damaged. 3 of them basically grievously wounded. Green doesn't have too much firepower up here as well. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Not really any properties to really project off of. Gets a lot of free power charge there before possibly popping Urban Blight. Pops Urban Blight. We'll get a bit of damage back here. Nothing about the HQ this time. I don't think this Urban Blight's super great. Wasn't able to get a boost strike off that city. Starting to capture these cities is exactly what actually Kindle needs to help turn around the game. Get some extra income going. Couple battlecopters now being pulled on the field. Falling up the infantry. I think she's trying to bait out another covering fire missile there. Because if first one is against foot soldiers, then most HP. That could be baited out of a good number of infantry units. And the last one is value. Rachel's getting some good progress up here. Does take out the artillery piece. No capture progress there just yet. Looks like all of Rachel's battlecopters being cleaned up, barring this fresh spawn. Rotating some tanks up here. Got a couple more tanks. Another infantry. Battlecopter heading over here. Good idea. Transport copter. Could be useful baiting out the next covering fire. Kindle does have a battlecopter down here, and the anti-air could get a booster strike on the anti-air. Battlecopter, infantry. Trying to capture this property. This will force Kindle out of her safety zone. Does get a unit inside the T-copter. Or just move the T-copter a little bit. Takes out that unit there. Oh, the anti-air is also on the top of the forest, so she doesn't have vision of it. Covering fire can be brought on in. Now it makes sense to bait it out. Now I wonder if she's baiting a little bit too much. Ah, but a decent amount of force up here. Oh wait, gotta be very careful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the infantry missile could strike here or here. It could strike either one of these groups. Let's see where it lands. Neither of these units are damaged, so it's just me that the infantry missile silo did not strike here. I have a feeling 2, maybe all 3 landed here. Don't see any damage across the front line. But then again, Fog War can do some funny things, Fog War games, when it comes to the unit damage. Urban Blight's now available. So it looks like Kindle dictated all the covering fire so far where they've landed this game. I think that second one was a little bit too much. This one, not too bad since it's hit a tank and anti-air at most, but everything else is expendable. Ends turn of 109. Kindle starts the turn with 74. It looks, yeah, it looks like every single missile silo hit. Well, yeah, every single missile silo I think landed right on top of this black boat. Good strike there. Capture progress 50%. Gets good strike there. Pops the Urban Blight, which also wounds this infantry unit, denies or interrupts the capture at minimum. Takes in his center. Gets a booster strike onto this tank with plus 80% firepower from the urban terrain. It is a decent attack. I don't know, it feels like Kindle doesn't have a whole lot on the field. Rachel feels like in pretty good position. Pushing forward to the 1 health infantry. I think Kindle believes she won't get... This game will probably end before another covering fire. Yeah, it looks like she's at 93 versus 87 with the day-to-day, what's left of it. So it looks like Kindle's about a turn behind. And these battle copters causing issues. This comm tower may be captured. Kindle does now have 4,000 income lead, which is very important. Let's hope that'll slowly get Kindle back in the game, but she is still down by a turn. Needs more tanks down here, that's for sure. Get some good strikes on these anti-airs. Or onto the battlecopters. Takes the mech. Needs to get at least 5 points of damage. Does, so interrupts the comm tower capture 1 turn even further. And this infantry unit there could be joined captured by this one up here. And we'll have 1 capture progress remaining, so it has to be fully wiped out. This APC is at full health. Artillery piece in the forest at full health as well. Got a lot of stuff there, but very far away from our covering fire. 95,000 versus 81 with the income. It's back down to day-to-day. Another Urban Blight's available. Stops the capture entirely. And Urban Blight here could be quite successful, wounding it, allowing her to get on top of it, then projecting onto another nearby unit. Maybe not the artillery piece since it's in the forest. It needs to be spotted first. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Both sides are lacking serious assets down here, but Kindle still has a better presence with 2 anti-airs versus 1. Never mind, now there's just the 1. Gains a good power charge there. Pops the Urban Blight there. It's at 3 health rather than 6 health. Does not get a kill there. Does spot the artillery piece now. Knocking out, but still 4 health can do some good work. Probably take up the 3 health anti-air. Got a decent number of Kindle artillery pushing me forward. Also, another covering fire is actually possible this game. But there's enough infantry down here and no real threat to annihilate the infantry, so I think the HP and the infantry missile will land right here. The value one will probably land up here. So Kindle's doing a good job dictating the covering fire, very, very good. And Rachel decides to resign. A very, very good game by both players. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Before I get started on the next replay, I do need to use the restroom again. Please give me 1 moment. My apologies, I'm back. Let's see now. delete that replay. 25 turns? Possibly. Let's take a look around. Oh yeah, I forgot the April Fool stuff allowed stupid matchups. Like this. Colin versus Hachi. This should be a stupid game. Let's watch it. Got a sound bug there, refresh the game. There we go. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advance Wars by Web Replay. So on the south side is the Gray Sky Hachi. We got XL napkins, so extra large napkins versus the Amber Blaze Colon. We got Slicer. And somebody realized as well, we got to adjust the window size. Let's just squeeze out a little bit more size here. There we go. And I probably adjust the chat window, and there we go. Yep, we got two tier 0 broken powered COs. You got the high quality unit specialist, which gets cost reductions, or you got the mass production CO. He gets 10% cost reduction to all units versus 20% cost reduction to all units, but they lose 10% firepower. Colin's actually more of a tech up CO, while Hachi is the mass production. This is going to be a game. Either way, let's get started. Let's see, both sides have an airport. We've got triple base here. A lot of properties in the map, I just want to see. At least a lot of centrally located map or properties. Of course, there's 2 comm towers in the middle. The property is actually, I don't know, maybe not actually super large. I think there's maybe both players can rely to get, what, 20,000 income? But the more centrally located properties and the roads in the middle, units going to be going into combat quickly. Motorized vehicles a bit more of a possibility. And Hachi's merchant unit will be able to spawn in the middle of the map a bit more easy. Got tank, infantry. Hachi's now pulled out the first tank, or nope, there's a Colin tank there. I'm blind. Another tank there. Wow, that is a completely lackluster fight. Both of them are in dead 7 health. Tanks push way forward, infantry as well. Got triple tank up north for Colin. Hachi has double tank at the moment. This is more or less the weak side until the airport gets online, since 2 bases will outproduce 1 base. Actually, this base can go either way, really. Interrupts the capture there. Hachi does have 14,000 right now. Colin will get 3 more properties and his airport online. Unlike Andy, he knows when airport is. Comm tower halfway there. Colin tanks push way forward, severely outnumbering Hachi's tanks. But he does have non-reinforcing tank there. Remember as well, this is a standard funds match, so Colin should probably more rely on Gold Rush than Power of Money. And we're most likely will see merchant units more often. We'll see barter. Barter reduces the cost reduction to 50% as opposed from 90%, so 50% discount on all units. Merchant unit is 50% discount and able to turn all cities into bases, so yeah, he's the mass production CO. He could be cost ineffective versus Colin and still win because just having more units in the field. Good strike there. Artillery piece push forward, catch some more property. 17 versus 15. Yep, so this is a little bit lower funds map. We do now have a gold rush. He will probably try to squeeze out some extra power charge next turn and then pop it. Or he... Oi! Colin, look at this. I just realized something. Colin saved up last turn's income to get even more valid gold rush. He had this turn calculated already. Wait, no. It's Colin's turn. Why am I getting them mixed up? He can pop gold rush, but he is not. I'm making those two mixed up really badly. My bad. He also did not save up money this turn. Does use barter. I suppose this map's a little bit low funding, so it's hard to get usage out of Merchant Union. But now he effectively has double income for this turn. Until he gets a good strike there. He may try to pull out something from the airport this turn. Goes for a Neo Tank at 50% discount. Able to really push up here, so that's why he went up there. Sorry I'm not doing all too well casting this replay. I am completely butchering everything. We got a artillery piece here, infantry for half price. With this tank, I think he popped out barter there to get a Neo Tank out, help stabilize this region since Colin's making great hit gains. Power money could, or not power money, gold rush could be utilized this turn, but maybe a good idea to save up a turn's worth of income. Pull back some units on some of the flanks. Though this flank he can still win out with his current arsenal. So pull out minimum this turn. Tank. In here, so he's not pulling out minimum this turn. Has a small reserve of 3,000. I think he's holding on to gold rush a little bit too long. His property beefed up, which is very nice. This property is still despicably neutral, and this artillery piece can make it so. Actually, no, he will forfeit this property. I think Colin should just be defensive, pop a gold rush, and then pull out something heavy, even perhaps a mega tank. Artillery, infantry, and in here. He's storing up some monies. He could be trying to save some power charge to get a gold rush into a gold rush. That may be what he's doing. I think that's the first time I ever cast Colin or Hachi, since they're generally banned in standard play. Tier 0 COs are banned. So I haven't really cast them all or at all. And I mostly can't cast anything that's ranked rather than unranked, so. Has 20,000. Let's see what it goes for. Could squeeze up more power charge this turn. He's right now has a slow loss up here. He has artillery piece cover the medium tank. He wants the Neo Tank to engage the medium tank to get the artillery piece strike into it. Another medium tank, so he's not eyeing to save any fundings. I want to see... These are two tier 0 COs. I want to see explosiveness. It hasn't been that explosive so far. Good strike there. He could get the medium tank to strike the Neo Tank to get some power charge going. Well, it would be in range of artillery piece. Let's see what he does. Okay, I was thinking it's going to strike the Neo Tank, but he strikes the artillery piece. So, the medium tank's on the range of the artillery piece. Expecting bombers to come swinging at some point. Possibly. I'm thinking Hachi. No, both could go for bombers. Neo Tank's completely surrounded, so his medium tank is safe and artillery piece in a good position. I suppose not entirely surrounded. Wait, this infantry unit can go right there. Maybe we'll lock it down, but probably still broken through, so probably not. He's just trying to protect this medium tank. Is he going to save up money this turn? He has economic advantage by a small amount. Artillery, infantry. partial save here. I think we want to see a chain of gold rushes. So we're probably going to see a chain of gold rushes, then a bunch of explosions are going to happen, and then merchant units going to come out, and then something happens there. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. Does manage to get the Neotank strike the medium tank? Please don't tell me we're going to see a power of money. Gold rush is what makes Cullen overpowered, not power of money. He saves some money there. He's expecting a merchant union or a barter. Gold rush? Okay, good. It's gold rush. Wait, they added a sound effect to it? Why is it of all the seal powers is Cullen's? Oh, he is now at 49,000. And if he's super greedy, he will store up his money even further and pop another gold rush next turn. He's playing very defensive. He did not get a strike with the artillery piece. I think he's saving up money next turn. I think he's going for another gold rush. We may see triple infantry in this turn. He's not being aggressive with here. He's trying also to line barter. Infantry. Oh no. Chain of gold rushes. Cullen's charging up. By when I say charging up, I mean expending charge to get money. But will it be too much? How greedy is it going to get? And will that greed bite in the butt? Let's find out. This is what I've been expecting in this matchup. Triple infantry unit there. He's trying to get a merchant unit out. Both players are priming themselves. Wait, something I'm curious as well. Let's see, info. Unit limit 65. That is... Just had to double check that part because by default it's 50. This map is 65. Which, that will make it... That is actually important in this game for Hachi. Because Hachi can eat the unit build limits so easy. Cullen's getting a bit of power charge. He is going to lose 10% additional firepower in defense until he pops it. But he's trying to get enough power charge because now he has enough for 2 more gold rushes. Anti-air strike battlecopter. Or no, it can't. Just out of range. He's at now 96,000 stored up. We may see merchant unit next turn. I have no idea how it's gonna go. Probably a good idea that, yeah, he's making expenditures this turn. But he can not, okay, does not build an airport there. Keep 72. He did some expenditures to help stabilize the field because if you save up too much, it will bite you in the butt. And this property will not be flipped. We may see merchant union. Merchant unit 50% discount, and every single city is now a base, which means we're going to see a swarm of unexpected units in the middle as well. He has ability to front shift by spawning a new front. Is that a thing? Mega tank on the front line. Mega tank on the sidelines, also on the front line. And anti-air because he needed something to engage the battlecopter. He has still 9,000 remaining, which means infantry. He's probably going to get infantry out of the rest of the cities. Infantry. Anti-air there. Infantry. Looks like he's nope. He base skipped once. Failure! I don't think that'd be as much. 44 units versus 30, which is important regardless of the value on the field. Right now, he does have 171 versus 84, but 90,000 bank with a Gold Rush available. Yeah, that's the reason why these are both broken tier COs, but Hachi is maybe the most broken CO in the game. And of course, Colin, with the lack of firepower, will have trouble. Of course, now there's a Mega Tank here. He will need a spawn out bomber. Oh, don't go greedy. Please at least build out a bomber. Too greedy. I think that's too greedy. He needs bombers out to deal with Mega Tanks. He can throw in tanks into them, but remember as well, he's still capped at 3 bases in airport. He still needs... Well, Hachi is basically uncapped with his Merchant Union. I think he should not have saved up the Gold Rush that last turn, or at least pulled out bomber at minimum. He needs a bomber to deal with the Mega Tanks. He only has 1 airport on the field, and so he needs bombers on both flanks. Also, when I saved this replay to be recorded today, the April Fool's event also sort of breaks some things where these broken tier TCOs and it didn't show me who the winner was. So I have no idea who the winner is, but it feels like Hachi's getting pretty good. Right now, value on the field is 155 versus 52. But Colin has a massive bank, which I think he should have spent it. Pop the Gold Rush and spend it. But he's gonna go for Power Money next turn to take out the Mega Tanks. Is that a thing that could happen this turn? I think he has to go for Power Money and take the Mega Tanks that way. But he needs quite a bit of power charge, honestly. Okay, he's pulling back on this flank. I think Colin got too greedy last turn, was a mistake. Pulls back the Neo Tank. Pop's Gold Rush has now 148 in the bank, which is almost the amount that Hachi has in the field. So technically in value, Colin is ahead, but he has half the units, which is actually critically important. Go for Neo Bomber. Mega Infantry Battlecopter. No Bomber. Need Bomber. Against the Mega Tanks. I suppose pulling out your own Mega Tanks is good. It's one of the things, well, I'm probably the last person to make a comment how things should play. He did spend ammo there on that with his Mega Tank with that target, so he could throw the Anti-Air and the tank into the Mega Tank to drain his ammo entirely, let his Mega Tank get free shots in. Which may be a good idea, except with Neo Tank took out that 1 tank there, so that's not really a possibility anymore. But he can at least drain the ammo from the Mega Tank with his own Mega Tank, while the Neo Tank get a free shot in. I think Colin's played too greedily, so I'm getting forced out of the game by sheer numbers. At minimum, this Mega Tank needs to occupy this city at the end of this turn, so he can at least get his ammo replaced. Hachi next turn is going to get another Merchant Union, and I think Hachi will win pretty much next turn. Pop a... I have no idea. Okay, he did put... Okay, he's also going to get a first strike on the Mega Tank with his own Mega Tank, which is good. Needs to clear out this Anti-Air there. Pop's Gold Rush, that may give him enough firepower to deal with that. Oh yeah, he already had enough firepower. Merchant Union is now available. Mega Tank on Mega Tank. Neo Tank could follow up a shot there. Does not. Gets on top of his own city. Mega Tank. Infantry. Bomber, please. Oh no. I don't like how the Colin's playing. I'm probably backseat driving, but now here comes a Merchant Union. He has now 100,000 he can deploy on the field, while Colin has 100,000 in the bank. Calm Tower gets flipped, so now Hachi has plus troops and firepower, while Colin has 10% less. This is actually horrendously bad for Colin. Megatank won't get trapped on the base, so you can at least able to push out on the field. Megatank strikes Megatank, which is perfectly fine for Hachi. Neotank on Neotank. Also, we'll get a bit of repairs there. Colin has a bit of a power charge. Now got a bomber on the field. Forward Megatank. He has still 26, another Megatank, not so forward, and infantry. And now we're going to see a chain infantry. He will probably need the power. Let's see what he does. Pulls back the Megatank. I don't think he should have pulled back. Has one ammo remaining. Neotank on Neotank. Another Power Money has 190,000. Remember as well, Hachi's capturing up a lot of territories, and more territories can be flipped. Colin's playing the game far too passively. Goes for fighter, deal with the bomber. I understand that. Tank, tank, regular tank. No, he's losing. He needs Neotanks in the far factories and another Mega Tank here. Yeah, I really disagree with Colin's play. He has nothing to stop the swarm infantry. He does not have numbers. At this point in time, he has to build up bombers and at least build battle cups each turn, help deal with all the infantry units. Hachi's almost at the heightened unit cap at the moment. Tank, tank, tank. This Mega Tank is out of ammo. Also, one reason why I said that Mega Tank should end the turn on this property. Wait, isn't Hachi pretty close of winning the game based on capture? I don't see a way to view capture victory. Because right now he's at 27,000 versus 9,000. There's also too much infantry on the field for this fire to even reach the bomber now. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit there. Another merchant unit is now available. He could save us money next turn. Remember as well, he does have too much unit cap available, so losing units is fine. A fighter can't fly over infantry because this is Advanced Wars. The HQ is even being threatened. Power Money, Mega Tank, Mega Tank, Mega Tank, Battle Copter. And here comes a merchant unit, has a decent bank. Restarts the capture there. Mega Tank completely surrounded. Only target he should fire against is the HQ. And decides not to go for valuable units. He's starting to merge kill-off units. Another gold rush there. Has his only source of funds. Does manage to not fully stop the capture. Mega tank there. Mega tank, medium tank. And still no bomber out. At minimum, getting out battle copters would be quite nice, help deal with all the infantry. We got a rocket down here. Yeah, this game's pretty much over. I think Colin just played this far too defensively. Should have been much more aggressive pulling up the... Didn't build a single bomber this game. Let's simply leave it at that. Another merchant unit is almost available. It's such a cheap ability as well. Awesome merchant unit, he could just be hyper aggressive, doesn't really care about taking losses. Forward rockets once again, we've got triple rockets. Delete some units there. Another power money. Base is even being captured. Yeah, this game's pretty much over if you're losing a base. And the airport. And yep, he has so much money in the bank, he couldn't even spend it. I guess you should deploy it out a missile to help deal with the fighter. And decides to resign there. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Well, I probably have enough voice strength for one more replay tonight. Let's see, that was not that one. Yep, it was that one. Let's see. Could do this one. Here's what else. I've done quite a bit of Fog of War today. Could do this one. Don't think I cast this map all too often. Fifth from the bottom. Yeah, let's just... Oops, that was the same one. Let's do this one. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the south side as the Orange Star Kindle. We got Mu J, capital 6. Spawn on the north side as the Black Hole Drake, or EF Calcifer. But seeing how Kindle's in orange sort of fits with her hairstyle, I guess that makes sense. And you got the Evil Drake, which is probably the clone Drake from the Dual Strike campaign. Either way, let's go and get started. This is a triple base map, but these two bases back here along the airport are on their own little island, so you have to use the transport to get units pushed forward. Both players do start for crews on top of the HQ as well. So the free laner is going to be very important. Got to make sure that stays refueled, which may make Drake's power and super power particularly effective against his opponent, because the lander will have to be refueled at the port, one of these two ports here, which also could drain additional fundings from Kindle. Additionally, or could pull out an APC to get a field route refueled, which of course then that'll be a 5,000 credit or fund unit not being utilized. There's also a decent amount of roads and shores here, which gives wheeled vehicles hyper mobility. Kindle's recons all the way over here. Drake's looks like doing for the same technique as well, just a little bit slower. And of course, this infantry here does spot this. The landers here. Probably a safe attack to actually engage onto the unit there. Artillery piece got pushed right there. This actually just a push forward to get some more reconnaissance. Sees the infantry unit there, so probably has a good idea. It's safe enough to strike the infantry units. No tank spawned out. Drake's tank is up here. We do also now have Kindle Recon down here. And this Recon charged straight to the city into the artillery piece. Great artillery piece there. Recon gets loaded up. Artillery piece gets a great strike on the recon. Of course, in order for this land to unload here, this artillery piece would need to be moved. Artillery piece does get scouted. And there's a tank there as well. And it's filled up with recon, so nothing stopped the tank from advancing. Drops off over there. Tank does run over here with the protecting the tank. Howdy. Hopefully it is. Guess we'll have to find out soon enough. I think it's good. I always like seeing Kindle. Kindle's one of the COs is just sort of fascinating how she plays out. Drake's pretty simple, like Olaf, and also good, don't get me wrong. But I think like Kindle's like a interesting CO. It just seems like a lot of interesting things she can make done. Oh, I just realized something as well. I forgot to adjust the map size. Oops. Not like you missed much down there. That is my bad entirely. Let me move the chat window as well. I forgot to move around stuff. That should be fine enough. Sometimes I forget to do that since I have to tailor since each map's a little bit different size, I have to tailor the map each time I start a game, and sometimes I just straight up forget. Did I do that with the Hachi game? Oh great, now I'm starting to panic. I don't know if I had full vision of that. Good. Got now Black Boat. I actually poise out Black Boat there, which may be a good idea because Drake gets some refueling and a bit of repairs going. Got a tank down here. Kindle's tanks right down here. Recon here. Artillery and tank have take a bit of damage. Drake's tank is back on top of the city. Drake's tank are completely and utterly ordinary, which is perfectly fine. Black Boats gets loaded on up, get a bit of repairs there. Tank and infantry unit there. And this force here not only gives a good spot for artillery to protect this nearby stuff, also gives a good stealth insertion point for units. As a nice safe spot to pull out tank, it has to be spotted and then engaged. Both players have not captured this comm tower here, and Drake has captured this comm tower here, so he does have a single comm tower advantage. Recon battlecopter. And there is now a Drake artillery piece there, entry in the middle. He has his own Black Bow in the field. Comm tower now being captured. This one's being captured by Drake, which could be a good bait for this tank to get a good strike on this tank. Does charge for the recon. Tank for support, so Drake could get an idea that there is a tank nearby to protect this recon. Engage the infantry unit there, interrupt zone capture, probably a good idea. You gotta stop the comm tower capture. Kindle has a good number of infantry over here. The tank could provide some good fire support. She could try threatening this comm tower. These are C towers, not shore towers, so can't engage this infantry from the single. Good strike on the recon. So it looks like, but does manage to wall and protect that tank there. Artillery piece and stealth insertion point. Lander does need a bit of fuel. Just the Black Boat can provide that bit of refueling. Interrupts the capture by sniffing them out. And got a good number of tanks here. So this tank's in a good position to fight one, not both. Battlecopter probably needs to be respawned up there. Artillery piece can get a booster strike on this infantry unit. And this infantry can get a booster strike on this infantry unit there. But Kindle does need to fix this issue. So you got a single tank inside that lander at least. And this tank could actually get a booster strike onto this tank there. That's probably a better course action, trying to use the infantry engage there. Get a booster strike on that infantry unit. Probably a good idea. That's a good strike there. Infantry and tank. So she does have a decent number of tanks over here now, but Drake has full health, 9 health, 3 health. Battlecopter head up here. I think it would have been better to head over here. Of course, you never know where the anti-airs may be at. And Urban Blight is available. And does cover the Calm Tower there. So we've got triple Calm Tower versus 1. So Drake has a serious firepower bonus. Merge there. Takes out that one tank. A boosted Urban Blight could be utilized there, but now there's a recon on top of it. Infantry can easily be taken out by the artillery piece or by infantry unit. Bit of resupply there, very nice. Tank, infantry, battlecopter. I doubt we're going to see a high society. If she pops a high society, it would be 21 properties plus the... It is an HQ. So it'd be a pretty good amount of damage there. Additional 63% firepower. Apply better just to use Urban Blight. It'll also wound that recon there. But I don't think she can take out those tanks at the moment. And this infantry unit there is spotting the tank. And even does take out this infantry unit there, this one can get more spot in there. Pops the high society. That is going to be a serious firepower bonus. She's also popped it mid-turn. I'm curious of what the damage is like. Let's see what's this looking like on equal footing. Yeah, it's 90% firepower. Finish off that one, no problem. Of course, got now the Typhoon available, which will cause some issues. That's a bit of damage there. Yeah. Big numbers, 172. So here comes a Typhoon. It'll call quite a bit of damage. Drake will start to turn 97. And that actually did provide some vision of that. It actually calculated it. Usually that doesn't happen. Oh, that is accurate. She took a lot of damage there. Lots of damage there. Remember as well, he still has 3 column towers versus just the 1. A Neo tank now pulling the field. Of course, she's going to have to deal with the rain this turn. She gets some good strike on that tank there, but her left flank is still very weak. Has some infantry units there to start pushing forward. Got an artillery piece there to protect the column tower, so that's going to be pretty secure. There's an equal strike there. Tank's a good strike there. Reinforcing tank. This will help her stabilize the region, but Neo tank will, of course, unstabilize it. Destabilize the region. Ends a turn of 105. Drake starts a turn of 112 with stated day, so she kindles about a turn and a half, 2 turns behind. And taking some decent losses in the middle of the map as well. She needs an anti-air in the middle, so she does have some battlecopters to be equal answer. And her battlecopters don't have the minus 30% penalty, but he does have 3 column towers, so they're just regular battlecopters one time. Versus just plus 10% with some perhaps some urban attacks. Neo tank heading down over here, then over here. So this could allow Kindle to get some work done up here. And there's going to be boost strike. This tank's going to go down. Nothing to stop the recon there, but the infantry is ready to capture the comm tower. Battlecopter rotating over there. Battlecopter, infantry. So she's relying more on the battlecopters right now. The economy is very similar. Drake has a slight advantage, but nothing too significant at this moment. There's still one despicable neutral property. Another Neotank by Drake. These Neotanks can cause some issues. Kindle can counter with medium tanks, but that'd be more of a defensive option. Yeah, a little bit of booster strike there, but Drake has a pretty good presence in the middle of the map as well. Starting to capture that comm tower. Has an artillery piece there for fire support, but will be out of range of everything. Has tank and battlecopter ready to support as well. Recon infantry can help interrupt, maybe fully stop the capture. Fully stops the capture. Try and flip some properties there. Anti-air. Another anti-air. Kindle does have 22,000. Excuse me. Urban Blight is available. Tanks in mid-range the artillery piece, but couldn't get a shot onto it. Did not have to scout it out. Oh, great hiccups. Oh boy. She does get stuck like its stepsister there. Booster strike on the recon takes it out. Probably should have gone for booster. Oh, there's a booster strike from the battlecopter. But Neotanks here, and these are all shores, easily traversable. Except right there, that's the sea. Battlecopter's got a recon right there. Urban Blight has not been utilized. Takes out that tank, and all of a sudden gets ambushed by 2 Neotanks. That is something that Kindle does not like to see. All of a sudden, not just 1 but 2 Neotanks. Also, 1 property flip, another property 10 being flipped there. Property still despicably neutral. So got 3,000 income lead for Drake. Gets a good strike there on the artillery piece, knocks it out, so she's getting some good progress done over here. Stops his own capture there, but initiate another capture. Also gets I think he put that 2 infantry unit there just to prevent any more landings here. So she denies the beachhead over here, which is good. Pops the Urban Blight. Not a whole lot. Got a good hit there on the medium tank. Some hits on various infantry units. Does interrupt this capture. Trying to flip a couple properties over here, which is very good. Infantry, anti-air. Infantry. Artillery gets a good strike there. Booster strike on the Neotank, which is good. Put a little bit of hurt on that battlecopter, nothing too significant. This battlecopter is straightforward. So it looks like both these units are going to be going down. Got the anti-air definitely in range of the battlecopter. And we could see a Typhoon this turn. Typhoon's now available, pops it, interrupts both these captures, actually very important. Because now he will maintain the 3 comm towers. Another medium tank pulled out here. Paul trying to equalize this region. Just completely ends the turn with 0 money remaining. Has 158,000 in the bank. Kendall starts the turn with 99 with 21, so she has 120. She's behind like 3 turns. That is horrible. Does not hit that 1 health infantry unit there. That prevents even mechs from being pulled on top of the mountain there. Okay, so the battlecopter. Neo tank could go down, but would be sacking a battlecopter. Good strikes there. This capture progress has 10 remaining. She has 27,000 bank. Is she going for better repairs there? She needs to probably get a medium tank or neo tank. Artillery, battlecopter. I think a medium tank would have been good. Urban Blight's now available once again. Takes out the anti-air there. Even trying to capture this harbor. If Drake captures that harbor, oh boy, you don't want a battleship there. Hell, actually, aircraft carrier can lock down the airport. In other words, don't let Drake capture that port, or you will have hell in the handbag. Urban Blight should be probably pop this turn. It's just only 1 trap, not both trap. I always forget the Advanced Wars by Web. If this was an actual what's it called? Advanced Wars game, that would have stopped deployment of both units. Urban Blight has been popped. Stops both of those captures there. Drops a tank and artillery piece there. Does drop the infantry unit there. Good strike on the battlecopter. Takes out those units. Does have pretty good grasp of this region. Does capture Comm Tower, which is very critical. 2 capture progress remaining. Good strike on the medium tank. It's also Urban Blighted as well. So this property has 1 capture progress. If it does not get stopped, it will be captured. Neo tank has good strike there. In range of the artillery piece, however, it's on top of a forest. The lander could spot it, but then gets struck right there. And start for 140,000 versus 96 starting. She's still pretty far behind. But she has good field presence down over here. Deletes the cruiser. Puts the artillery piece on the cruiser. I don't know if that's a good or bad idea, but that's what's happened. Finish off that capturing unit there. This thing still has 2 more turns to capture. Takes out the tank there. Knows where the anti-air. Typhoon or Tsunami could be casted, which could cause some issues. Infantry, Neo tank, and infantry. Gets trapped by this 1 health infantry unit. That's not good. Spends Neo tank's full turn to take out 1 health infantry unit. Does not take out the battlecopter there. It must have been out of vision range. And there's Tsunami. It's been not a good turn for Drake. He wasted all these units' turns. Loading up this stuff. Of course, there's no rain this turn. The Tsunami does not provide rain, only the Typhoon. So Drake had a really bad turn that turn, so this may be Kindle's turn to turn things around. He has 154,000 field. Kindle starts with only 86. The Typhoon was painful. Capture that property. She's still behind on income. 2 capture progress there. Bar deployment there. Try and get the Neotink in position. Booster strike there, very nice. This battlecraft has 23 fuel remaining. Resupplies there. Battlecopter infantry. Another urban blight's available. Not a very good turn for Drake either. He's been having not great turns, which will give Kishin some that can't speak. Kindle some extra room to breathe. Booster strike on the anti-air. Kino's been doing quite well up here, but the problem is she's basically lost sight of the map and has a sizable income deficit. Merge another units there. This is causing so many issues first. She does brought the Neo tank up there. Guess she wants something to deal with the medium tank, but I think it would be better to send that over here. Does have an anti-air there, which could be taken out. That's a river. That tank does not go down. Saint here will get a boost strike on one of these battlecopters, knocking them out, plus Urban Blight will boost up to a significant degree. I'm not sure how Kindle can turn around this game. Every turn feels like she's falling more and more behind. Pops the Urban Blight. Now this cruiser's down to 1 health, if that makes any difference. Booster strike there. Gets good strike on this medium tank. Now able to get a medium tank pull on the field with a safe landing. A lot of anti-air there. Battlecopter, recon, infantry. Battlecopter goes down. Tsunami is available, which could cause some issues. Black boat is now trapped. Kingsbow won't be able to engage this tank unless the lander spots for it. That battlecopter will likely go down this turn. Capturing some of these properties is actually important, but will easily be interrupted. I think Kindle's just trying to grab as many properties over here to stabilize. She's still down a decent amount of income, and two properties could be flipped. Anti-air's almost out of ammo as well, which means they got a lot of work done against Kindle's battlecopters. Recon infantry does take out that unit. We have a joint capture, medium tank engagement in range of the Neo tank. Other Neo tank patrol forward, gets a good strike there. And Drake's advantage has greatly decreased. Kindle's just getting a lot of smart engagement there, starting to slowly turn things around. But nothing stopping the landing there. Bit of a gamble. Does double base skip. One property will be flipped this turn. Pops a superpower now. Stops a capture there. Oh, that Neo Tank that's also almost out of ammo is non-range this Neo Tank, but it is wounded Neo Tank. Sacks it there, go for the Urban Blight, try and get that +10/+10 global. Booster Strike down the anti-air. Artillery piece couldn't soften the Neo Tank for the Neo Tank. Stops that capture entirely, gets good strike there. Softens it up, allows Neo Tank to strike the Neo Tank on equal footing. Gets trapped, recon there. Neo Tank decides not to engage Neo Tank. Maybe trying to lure this Neo Tank to hit the tank to get a boost strike in return. Also probably concerned about this medium tank. So she's trying to play extra smart. Though Drake has quite a bit of stockpile forces resources. I think we may see a battleship. Drake's battleships do not have any increase in firepower, just increase in defense. Of course, we've got two Neo tanks there. No battleship there. 20,000 funds stored on up. 6,000 income difference, which is quite massive. Good tank strike there. Battlecopter finish off the anti-air. Neo tank engage the recon. Problem is, it is outnumbered. Even a booster strike won't be good since the medium tank is also pretty good versus Neo tanks. Battlecopter tank and double base skip, and it was a double base skip purpose. She has 4,000 funds. The anti-air is almost out of ammo. In order to save the battlecopter, she could throw both these 1 health tanks into the anti-air, draining it while the battlecopter strike the other battlecopter. That could be a good possibility. It's not a good thing that the fact that anti-air is now your opponent's anti-air is out of ammo. Does get a boost strike on the Neo tank. Machine guns it a little bit. Sacks a tank there. Sacks a tank there. Kindle's down to 19 units versus 28. She has 82,000 in the field versus Drake's 150 with 30,000 in the bank. Typhoon's available, as well as Urban Blight. Urban Blight could be pretty useful in this next turn. Wounds this recon, then boosts off onto something else. Has a lot of battlecopters. I think this game's ultimately over. Yeah, when you get... And she does just straight up resign. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As I mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight. I'm getting a little bit tired. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening, and get some good rest.